Strange comments from the woman accused of killing her 5-year-old son and stuffing him in a suitcase in southern Indiana. WDRB's Christy Batista discusses the hearing with a forensic psychologist who also thought that behavior was particularly odd. Christy.
Yes, Scott, I have to tell you, it was unlike anything I have ever seen in the courtroom. We've seen erratic behavior, a cockiness among defendants, but Dejaune Anderson had an air of confidence to her that was different. Many times you could hear the murmurs among the people in the courtroom after Anderson said something. Some people were even laughing at her comments. We spoke with a forensic psychologist, Dr. Lauren Kaplan, who specializes in court psychology. And it's important to note that she has no connection to this case in particular. She wasn't asked for an evaluation by the court, and she doesn't have the defendant's history to make a proper diagnosis. She watched the hearing back with me, so she was giving her input based off only a snapshot without any history. When Anderson walked into the courtroom Tuesday, she said she was representing the entity of Dejaune Anderson.
I am Princess Kalifia Hatan Tupac II, representing the entity Dejaune Anderson.
The dissociation between herself and the entity, like she's not referring to herself as I, she's referring to herself as like an ethereal body, which makes me wonder if she has potentially been in a cult, you know, that just kind of that language, or if she's she doesn't seem necessarily grounded in reality.
I think a lot of people, Christy, are saying, well, anyone could go in there and say, I'm so in front of a judge. And they're wondering, is she putting on a show for the court?
Well, Dr. Kaplan says that could be possible, but it could also be a direct response to trauma. It seemed like Anderson was even questioning what the judge was saying at times, making faces when he was explaining the case that her 5-year-old son, Cairo Jordan, was found dead in the woods, stuffed in a suitcase.
She's having strong feelings of like kind of challenging the charges. Like she understands on some base level what she's being charged with and giving strong visual reactions to the judge and to the cameras, because she looks at the cameras as she's aware that she's aware of the presence of the media. So she's also sending the message of innocence, or like, I can test this.
And then on top of that, she's claiming that the government is watching her.
Specifically, the National Security the National Security Agency and Space Force. So I asked Dr. Kaplan if this could be paranoia or something more.
I don't know what her history has, but it seems like she's been pretty isolated. And I'd say that that is probably a piece of some of these beliefs that she's expanding upon. And I don't know that she has the insight to understand that she's coming across as strange. And so that would be something that would be, I'd be interested, is like, how do you think that went?
Now, Dr. Kaplan says despite Anderson coming off as strange, she was very confident and polite in court. She says it'll be interesting to see if her behavior changes over the course of this trial. We do expect to see her again in a few weeks. So, Scott, only time will tell.
Yeah, and the judge might have some decisions to make here, too. I know sometimes they bring in independent folks to do an analysis. Right. Yeah, we'll follow it. Thanks, Christy.